All right, so here I am in North Waukegan, and we just had a big storm come through, and I think this is so awesome. Look at that. Look at that. That is so cool, man. You can see it where it just went through. Look at that. How cool that is, man. Wow. What a day. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. I remember Florida seeing this, man. But this is just so beautiful. That and Florida's usually dark and gray. This is really cool because how beautiful it is with the pinks and the blue. Look at the blue up top and the pink. Oh wow! Look at that. The energy in there. Oh wow! This is so cool. I'm just gonna post up here for like a good couple minutes, man. I'm in the car. I'm parked. I'm safe. I'm gonna turn the car off actually. So I'll probably be here for a minute. This is nice. Car's off now. Oh. Wow, this is so cool. Beautiful out. I was at home. The storm passed. I heard it. But look at that. So majestic, man. That's amazing. God's power is incredible. Look at that. You know that storm right there contains more energy than a nuclear bomb. Look it up if you think I'm lying. That storm, that one cell, that whole cell you're seeing right there, that whole thing, the whole entirety of it. I'm sorry, my hand, but you get the idea. The whole cell, yeah, that's contains more energy than a hydrogen bomb, and that's natural. Natural thing that happens every day around the planet. One hurricane contains more energy than the combined power of every nuclear weapon on Earth. If you were to detonate every nuclear weapon on Earth simultaneously, it's the equivalent energy of one hurricane. Look it up if you think I'm lying. It's insane. God's power is amazing. Man, we're nothing compared to what God can do. We're nothing. We're but a speck. He does this without even trying. We try, and we think we're amazing. Look at that. Look what we can do. He's just like, whatever. Incredible. And if you don't believe in God, you're insane. You are insane to say this is all just random. Yeah, okay. It's all just random. I mean, it could be. That if that's the case, that it doesn't have any beauty to it. I mean, I'm thinking this was created and that it's a work of art, and it is a work of art. If you say it was just random and meh, bleh, 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 if that's the way you look at stuff, then enjoy your life, I guess. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. So cool. Yeah. It's like a rock concert in the sky. Man. And the reflection off all the clouds and stuff. It's like people talk about chemtrails. I'm like, I'm not saying they're not happening, but study up on atmospherics and stuff like that. I have a degree. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying I went through college and I studied, you know, meteorology and stuff like that. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that it's like read up on stuff. You know, it was like chemtrails. It's like, is it happening? It's like, well, yeah, they can they put silver iodide crystals and stuff in the atmosphere to control. They can control like rain patterns and stuff like that. But you know, that they're like mind dusting us and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't believe in any of that. I think we're all just stupid idiots anyway. We'll just buy whatever they tell us. We got the media. We don't need them. They don't need to dust us with anything. We already listen to the radio and the TV and everything it tells us to do. So they need to dust us for. Now, I mean, as far as like, you know, spraying to control, but everybody's like, oh my God, they look at the lines in the sky, look at the lines. Yeah, because when a jet passes, hot air condenses and it creates a trail like that. And if you're above like a place where there's like frequent air travel, yeah, you're going to have tons of lines in the sky because you're going to have multiple airplanes. And if they form patterns, it's because airplanes are going in the same routes they do every day. Like, LA to New York, or, Texas to, Illinois. Same routes every day. So if it looks like a big grid, it's like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, it's because the same routes they fly every day. So, my dad was a jet mechanic. He believed in chemtrails. I was like, when did I was like, hey, at night, Pop, when did the Men in Black come and put the stuff in the fuel? And he looked at me weird. I said, when did they come? What are you talking about? I said, when did they come add the mine dust to the fuel? And he just looks at me and I'm like, a lot of people say, well, they're military planes. They're military planes that do it. Okay, well, from what airbase? Start tracking the air bases then. Start tracking air bases. Show me the planes that take off from this base at this time. I mean, there's enough people out there on the internet that can track planes from this air base. They took off at this time, and they did this. They went over this area. If you can do that, and you can establish some kind of pattern, then maybe you could say, yeah, maybe. But I mean, and again, even in that, yeah, military planes might be cloud seeding for some reason. They might be doing research, or they for only knows, they might be actually creating a cloud for a military operation. Like, not so much like a weather weapon, but like maybe they're training or something, and it's like, okay, we need to have a storm, so we're gonna generate a storm right here, and then put guys on the ground. It's like, okay, you're in a thunderstorm. Now what do? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. But, and again, with silver iodide and stuff like that in the atmosphere, when it rains down and it gets into the groundwater, what is it doing? I mean, if you're gonna go with that conspiracy, then yeah, I can get on board with that. But the idea that it's like, it's raining down, they're controlling your mind. It's like, it's like, well, you want to buy, you want to listen to freaking Ariana Grande, and you want to go to Starbucks because of the white lines in the sky. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Stop smoking so much weed. Every pothead's like, we're smart, you're dumb. I'm like, no, you guys just, no, honestly, put it down. I don't smoke weed, I can tell you. Just put it down for a minute. I'm not saying every pothead's an idiot, but a lot of them think they're so smart, and it's like, well, honestly, just put it down. But I will say that looks like a, geez, like from Halo, like a ship, right? Like what kind of, like from some kind of like, oh my God, look, oh bro, look, it's a spaceship, man. See it right there? It's a spaceship, bro. We're getting invaded, bro. See, oh my God, the lasers. It's a laser battle, bro. Oh my God, the spaceship, bro. It's the way they are. It's like, dude, it's just clouds and it's lightning. Yeah, and then they'll be like, yeah, but with the lightning, who created lightning? What are they doing the lightning for? They must be up to something. Or maybe it's just the weather, the way it's always been. I mean, sometimes, as far as weather weapons go, it does make me wonder. The hurricanes hit Florida, and then there's like, it's like, but then you got to see the reciprocal. It's like, okay, if we're having like economic or some kind of geopolitical tiff with China, and then all of a sudden hurricanes just slam dance Florida, and then there's major floods and droughts in China, then yeah, you might be onto something. But, if there's like a hurricane hits Texas, and then there's a drought in, or like in Ecuador or somewhere, then that, it's, but I don't know. Sometimes I wonder because, yeah, all the hurricanes hit Florida. I mean, and again, but they've always done that. So can they steer them or control them to some degree with high atmospheric, just like with cloud seeding and radio waves and stuff like that? Maybe to some degree they can. But some of those, like HAARP and stuff like that, they get into it where it's like, they can make you gay, and they can put diseases in your blood, and they can turn you into a robot. And, it's like, come on, man, come on. Conspiracy theories at low level, that's where they get interesting. That's where it's real. Where it's like, okay, with HAARP, it's like, can they control the weather? That's a good question. But on the end spectrum of like, they're making you gay with harp. They're using harp to create earthquakes, and they're using harp to blah, blah, blah. And I mean, with blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on, I mean, well, harp with earthquakes. I mean, on the again with the reciprocal of that, HARP was the High Altitude Atmospheric Research Project. So if they did a reciprocal where they did like extremely low radio waves to where they can, yeah, maybe they could create earthquakes, but maybe they are on something. But as far as it being like, it puts diseases in you, and I've heard people say that HARP can cause you to turn gay, and they always say that it's gonna make you gay, or it's gonna I don't know what that has to do. Like, okay, it's gonna make you gay. And that's gonna benefit the enemy? How exactly? I don't know. It's gonna put a disease in you. No, or they could just spray diseases over us. All the cloud seeding, that's interesting. If anything, a Chinese 747 flies over and we see a contrail and it's all fuel mist, and it's like, oh, okay, but for all we know, and maybe they're spraying COVID over us, could be. That would be that simple, but you're going to go into like the graves and they're under the rock, and I'm like, well, maybe it's just easier than that. Maybe the Chinese just go, and when they fly an airplane overhead, they just spray out a little bit of, the flu or something, and we all get sick. COVID, come on. They said it was, what was that? They bit the head off a bat or some Aussie level. No, they made it a lab. There was protests. There was economic, democratic protests in Hong Kong right before COVID hit. And then when the dust settled, all of a sudden Hong Kong's part of China, and the rest of the world got sick. And a lot of their people died, and the Chinese value nothing. The Chinese government, anyway, I don't know about Chinese people, but the Chinese government values nothing. They don't value life. They don't value anything. All they value is power and control everything. They are the ultimate Nazi empire. They want to control, like the radical Islam. They want to control the entire world. They want to control the entire world. Radical Islam, too. I hate all these people with Zionism and all this stuff. The Zionists and the Jews and the Christians. No. Zionists, the Israel, Zionists, the Jews, that land belongs, according to the Bible, which I believe, that land, it does belong to the Jews. The Palestinians were descendants of the Philistines that God told Moses to go wipe out. And, in Joshua, they didn't wipe out all the pagan tribes. And God even went ahead of time and told them to stop sacrificing your kids to pagan gods and stuff. They wouldn't listen. So he used the Hebrews. He said, okay, when they exited from Egypt, he said, you're going to be my instrument. I tried to warn them. They wouldn't listen. Now you're going to go in there and you're going to slaughter them because I told them to get right and they wouldn't, So the Philistines, they drove them out, and they drove them out of the land because, well, that was our land, the Philistines, the Palestinian, Palestine. Well, it's like, well, our God didn't want you. Our God. Your God? Satan? Yeah. You're either serving God or you're serving the devil. That's all it is. That's a radicalism, or Islam in general is a form of Satanism. Sorry. I hate to say it. I'm not saying that people, that Judaism, anything, that if you worship that, you're a devil worshiper. I mean, but you are in a sense. There's a truth in Jesus Christ. The gospel of Jesus Christ is truth, and everything else is a lie. So it's like, I'm not, again, it's like a yes, no, or an and, or like a logic gate. If you look at it, if we as people don't put all these connotations on things and just accept it at face value, it's either yes or no. So you either believe the truth or you don't. So like Judaism, Taoism, Buddhism, Islam it's not the truth. Christianity is the truth. That's all. It's no judgment. If you're a Jew or Satanist or a Buddhist or whatever, I still love you, but you don't have the truth. You're living in a falsehood, and I'm going to offer you the truth and say that, Christ died for your sins, you accept the truth, then you're good. But if you reject the truth, then at the end of the day, I'm just an ambassador. That's all. I'm not twisting your arm. You got to answer to him, not me. When Elohim, when Shaddai, Elohim, Yahweh, God comes back, then you answer to him. But until then, hey, I'm just warning you. I'm an ambassador. I'm just an ambassador of his kingdom. That's all. I enjoy your culture. Like any ambassador, I come and I enjoy your culture. Like Paul said, as when I lived among the Romans, I did as Romans did. Eat, drink, be merry. We're saved by grace. If the Romans drink and eat, be merry. Eat, drink, and be merry. But just tell them, hey, listen, when Jesus comes, man, this is the way it is. His kingdom. Your kingdom's going to fall. His kingdom. It's the only kingdom. So here's an opportunity to join his kingdom now. We're basically ambassadors from his kingdom saying, you listen, your kingdoms, they're fallen. Our king is offering you, this is the opportunity right now. This is grace. This is grace. You can join our kingdom, or when he comes, that's it. That's just the way it's going to be. And that's him. It's not me. It's me as an ambassador. I'm not saying that. The Muslims, they'll kill you. They'll kill you. If you're not one of them, they'll kill you. Not me. I leave that up to Yahweh. The Muslims say, if you're not one of us, we're going to kill you. The Jews, they say, you're not one of us because you weren't chosen. Whatever. Sorry. No hard feelings, but you weren't chosen. We were. Like it almost sounds like a spoiled kid or like a arrogant older brother. But they're just, that's and it's the truth. They're God's chosen. God chose them. That's Zionism. God chose them. God said, this is Israel. This is their land. So I go with what Yahweh says. He says, this is their land. He gave it to them. I said, okay. And the Muslims, the children of the disobedience, they're the ones that said, the children of Ishmael. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be, I'm just saying it as an ambassador. No judgment. If I meet a Muslim person, I'm not going to hate them, and I'm not going to preach to them. I'm just saying this is the way it is. I'll tell them that, Jesus Christ loves them. And I offer that. I'm not going to say that they're wrong or anything. I'm just going to say Jesus. I will tell them that. Well, I will say that, Jesus Christ is the answer. He's the way. Whatever you believe that's not going to get you there. Jesus will get you there. Again, my king's coming. He offers you part of his, just join him. That's all you got to do. He's just saying join him. That's all. Join him or die. But we're doing it gently. The Muslims are killing people. We're doing it gently. We're ambassadors. God's going to do it. The Muslims feel that they're the right hand of God. We just are just ambassadors. We're just messengers, And the Jews are the chosen people. They just live. They're just waiting for God to come back, So that's how it is. 3 ways. You could choose to serve the king, or you wait for him to come back, or you kill people in the name of Satan. So, which is it going to be? Choose your kingdom. You don't want to be in Satan's kingdom because it's not going to end well. They think that it's going to end well, but it's not going to end well. Because Yahweh created Satan, so it's not going to end well. But that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Like I said, I know Palestinians. I've met several Palestinians around here. I said they're from Palestine. I said, oh, God bless you. I love them. If they want to kill me, that's fine. I still love them. But I'm just saying, in this society, it's just insane that we're embracing a culture of like the murderers, the ones that go around murdering people and torturing and killing people, are being shown grace and mercy and understand. Well, we just don't understand the terrorists. But the Christians and the Jews, the ones that are basically like the Jews that literally just do nothing, they just exist, and they want their land because that was their land. God gave them that land. The pagans that were there before, the Philistines, the Palestinians, God told them, like, listen, you had your opportunity to get right and you didn't get right, so I give this land to them. It's like an older brother and younger brother. Like, listen, I give you this bike, you didn't treat it well, so I'm giving it to your older brother, and that's that. And if you don't like it, come deal with me. It's the way it is. Don't take it out on your older brother. Don't take it out on Israel. Don't take it out on the Jews. Take it up with God, because He gave it to them. You had it. He gave it to you, and you didn't act right, so He took it away from you, and He gave it to your older brother. That's the whole deal with Israel, and the Philistines and the Palestinians. So, if you don't like that, oh well, too bad. The Germans would say, "Tut mir leid," Yeah, tut mir leid. So, too bad. Sorry. I'm too blunt. I feel that pains me. It pains me. Pains me. You know? I wish you would change it. Again, as a Christian, I wish you would change your mind. As an ambassador, I wish you would reconsider. That's all I'm going to say. You can cut my head off. That's fine. I don't care. I'm going home with my father. But I'm telling you, I wish you would reconsider, because when my father comes around, he's going to take care of it. And that's all I got on that. God bless y'all. Have a good night. And this was an amazing, amazing storm. I just went on a bunch of rants, and that's just the way I am. That's me, Johnny D. So have a good night, everybody. I love you. And look at that. Oh, Abba Father, you are amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. God bless. Good night.